It's awesome to see how the paths of everybody and how everyone kind of goes in different directions. To try to make this dream possible, right? Because it is a grind and it's not easy, but with consistency and the right efforts and doing the things that you guys do, it pays off. So it's cool to see how you guys all evolve.
Yeah, it's actually fun because every time I come to a golf tournament, I get to see familiar faces that I've seen
Hmm.
quite a few times in my in my career and in my life. I'm sharing a lot of the pro life now with a lot of Argentinians that I used to see them play when they were amateurs, and now they're pros. And now that I'm a pro, like people my age are turning pro and becoming like young professionals now, like me. And honestly, in the next few years, I'm gonna have more friends than now, probably
Absolutely.
because all the people my age is turning pro. So
Hmm.
that's been cool to embrace and experience.
All right, welcome back everyone to another segment of Tranquilo Tea Time. We are here with Mateo Fernandez de Oliveira, de Buenos Aires, Argentina. Thank you, Mateo, for taking the time and doing this today. We appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me, and it's my pleasure to be up here in Canada and talking to you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. So you are currently right now playing in the PGA Tour Americas tournament in Canada. You just did your pro-am today. Can you tell us a little bit about how that went today for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the programs up here have been so much fun. They only been 9 holes, which I think it's a way better dynamic for us players because we get to spend like not a lot of time on the golf course before starting on Thursday. So we only play 9 holes. I play the back nine. The course is looking amazing. It's in great shape. The people I play with were super nice as well, so I had a great time.
Absolutely. And how's the weather looking going into the weekend?
I think the weather is gonna be good. Today we had a really nice day. Yesterday wasn't that good, but we were still able to get 18-hole practice round in, so we're
Nice.
ready to go to roll tomorrow.
Hell yeah. That's what it's about. Get ready for the weekend and put some good days of golf ahead of you. So, before we get a little bit deeper into where you're currently at, I want to kind of go back and tell your story of how golf came into your life. And one of the things that I was reading was that abuelo and your dad were the kind of the people that showed you the game, right? You were big into soccer from what I was reading, but golf was kind of introduced to you at a young age. Can you tell us a little bit about that story and that dynamic of sharing the game with your father and your grandfather?
Yeah, so as you said, I used to play soccer when I was younger, growing up. I think it's the could be the best sport in Argentina to play at that age. Then I got into golf because of my father and my grandfather. I used to play a lot with my grandfather growing up too. He passed away when I was 13, I think. But before that, we got a lot of matches against each other. He used to beat me more than I did, so there are great memories when I started and growing up and playing with them. Then I started playing more with my father, of course, and since I was probably 13 or 14 was the first time I beat him. And after that, he didn't play much because he was more of he was taking me everywhere, driving me all over Buenos Aires just to for me to get to play different courses and different tournaments that were around. So yeah, I mean, I started because of them, and I actually got into it real big time when I was young, and here I am now.
And when was it that you realized, okay, hey, like I like the game of golf, but I like it. Not only do I like it, but I know that I'm good at it, right? So maybe I can take a path and maybe try to go the professional route. When was that kind of, I guess, recognition?
So honestly, I think that the minute that I started with, I was like nine years. I really got addicted to it, like in terms of how much I like to play and how much I like to practice. But starting when I was 13 or 14, I started representing my country, Argentina. So that was when I said, like, well, I truly like this. I started traveling a lot and getting to know different countries through golf, and I started to meet a lot of new friends and people that were fun to be around. So and also the competition started to be better and better every time. So I would say around 13, 14, I realized that I truly wanted to play this as a living.
And at that point of your life, how is golf in Argentina? Are there a lot of courses that are accessible? How did that world look like so that you can actually put in the time, put in the effort into trying to become a pro?
Yeah, so I was lucky that I was a member at a golf course very close to where I live. So I
Okay.
had that place to practice at every afternoon whenever I was after school. Then I got into the National High Performance Center in Pilar Golf, where they played
Hmm.
Latin American Amateur before, and I started practicing a lot there, also with I would say the top players in the country. So, but in terms of, like, there are a lot of golf courses down there. I would say it's pretty much accessible for everyone to play golf.
Okay.
Um, but going back to me, I think I was lucky enough to have a nice place where to play, and I had like one of my closest friends are from that club as well, and I take along with them every time I go back. It's fun to go
Hmm.
back to my second home and just play golf with them.
Absolutely. A good friend of ours that we met at the Puerto Rico Open this past year, or this season, Adam Yen. Adam.
Hmm.
Do you know him?
I know him very well.
Is he from Buenos Aires también, or is he a different part of Argentina?
Yeah, he's from Buenos Aires también.
Ah, okay.
I met Aram when we were probably around 10 years old as well.
Ah, okay. I
And,
figured.
yeah, we're good friends. He's from closer to Pilar, and I'm closer
Okay.
to Buenos Aires downtown where I live. But yeah, we've been playing a lot since we were young, and now he's a pro as well. So we
Mm-hmm.
get to see each
Yeah.
other now and then.
No, it's awesome to see how the paths of everybody and how everyone kind of goes in different directions, to try to make this dream possible, right? Because it is a grind and it's not easy, but with consistency and the right efforts and doing the things that you guys do, it pays off. So it's cool to see how you guys all evolve.
Yeah, it's actually fun because every time I come to a golf tournament, I get to see familiar faces that I've seen
Mm-hmm.
quite a few times in my in my career and in my life. I'm sharing a lot of the pro life now with a lot of Argentinians that I used to see them play when they were amateurs, and now they're pros. And now that I'm a pro, like, people my age are turning pro and becoming like young professionals now, like me. And honestly, in the next few years, I'm gonna have more friends than now, probably
Absolutely.
because all the people my age is turning pro. So
Mm-hmm.
that's been cool to embrace and experience.
Definitely. And the good thing is too, something that we always like to bring up in the game, and like some of the initiatives that we want to focus on when we do these type of interviews is like growing the games amongst the Latinos, right? It's good to see that, when you look at the representation on Tour Americas specifically, that there's a lot of Argentinians, you got the Venezuelans, you got the Colombians, you got so much representation from all over that it's really cool to see that diversity on the tour.
Oh yeah, that's been amazing. I think the we are some sort of a fraternity here, the Latino guys. I
Hmm.
think we're around 9 or 10 Argentinians, and
Hmm.
probably from other countries we might get to 20. Probably Greg knows the number well, but we all take along. We all pull for each other. Every time one of ours is in contention, we just try to pull for him and try to get a win, and then we can celebrate all together at night.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, it's been fun. Honestly, being so far away from home and traveling here and being able to speak our language. Um, Kind of like, I live in the States now, and honestly, seeing people from my country and being around them, it just feels like a lot of my culture, which
Hmm.
on my day-to-day basis I don't get to experience that much since I'm living in the States now.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. It's good to have that como familia with you when you're on the
Yeah,
road.
we drink a lot
So
of mate and play cards, truco, a lot of Argentinians.
nice. I like it. I like it. That's awesome. So I want to get into a little bit about post Argentina when you started going to college here in the States. So you started at TCU, spent some time there at TCU, but ultimately you ended up becoming a Razorback, right?
Hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that process of one coming into the States to play college golf, and then how you transferred to Arkansas.
So the old assistant at TCU, Adrian Mark, was the one that recruited me from junior golf.
Okay.
At that time, he was working at TCU, so I just signed with them. I knew it was a good school. I knew we were going to be a lot of freshmen coming in at the same time, which was kind of a good thing and not so good thing because I knew in the end we were going to be all very close because we were getting in that at the same time. Actually, I spent the 4 weeks that I played last year in this tour. I stayed with one of my old teammates from France, Aymeric Losor, and then this year, Gustav Frimod from TCU as well. He's been playing between Corn Ferry and this tour a few
Okay.
weeks, and I got to see them after a long time. And I I kept all my good friends from that school before becoming a Razorback, which at that point I felt it was the right decision for me to do. Honestly, it was a big change. But Arkansas had a lot of things that were better for my life at that time. I would say on the golf team, I feel like we were I think 4 or 5 South Americans playing in the lineup at the same time.
Right.
And also at that point, I was dating a girl that was on the women's team.
Okay.
So it was a good combo for me to just to move there. And honestly, I spent the last 2 years there, and I stayed in Arkansas one more year after I graduate.
Hmm.
I made so many good connections, which nowadays I still take along with them. And every time I go back to Blessings, where we practice at and play, we get to see the Blessings members, which are very close to us. Mr. Tyson, which been great for the Razorback program, and also my coaches. I feel we're all like friends now, and it's honestly it's quite a pleasure to have a place where you can call home in the States now. That you know that
Absolutely.
you're gonna be back and you're gonna feel welcome, just like the first time you got there.
Yeah, no. The thing that was interesting to me that you knew that there was a large Latino presence there at Arkansas, right, where you were going to play with others. So to me, that's what caught my attention. I was like, that's interesting because you don't, usually it's maybe a coach or, for instance, maybe a specific region that you don't enjoy, so that might force a transfer. Yet for you, it was more about like having like that cultural representation amongst the people that you played with, which I'm sure for the most part is difficult to find out there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's not only it's difficult to find like a nice Latino crew that you can hang out with, to find it in the same team and playing at the same time, which week in and week out we were all traveling together.
Right.
That was super hard to find, and I was lucky enough to find all those guys. My teammates, we spent the last 2 years traveling together, and well, now they're turning pro, and hope to see them. I actually have a bunch of Razorback friends here that they're playing with me. We're actually
Cool.
like five that we share team.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and honestly, Arkansas was the right fit for me, and I couldn't have asked for any other better place for me to go.
Yeah, and you guys had a ton of success while you were there as well. It was a good run that you guys had those years.
Yeah, we had my junior year. I think it was my first year at Arkansas. We had a nice run.
Hmm.
I think we missed match play in nationals by like 2 or 3 strokes. So yeah, it was a nice run. I had a good year too
Competitive.
personally, and it was a lot of fun. Great memories.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So then in 2023, you win the Latin American Amateur Championship, right? Tell us a little bit about that, because I know with that came a lot, right? You were able to qualify for the Masters, U.S. and British Open, and the Mexico Open. So tell us about that whole situation, because that's, for most, that's a dream right there, and that's a kind of like a life-changing experience.
Yeah, I played my first Latin American in 2018, I think it was. I got to play 5 of them. Actually, on 2023, I knew it was going to be my last one because
Okay.
I was graduating in May of 23, and my plans were to turn pro like right after college. So it came at the right time in terms of I was being a senior my last semester. Um, I was close the year before in 22 in Dominican Republic. I could have gone to a playoff if I would have made the putt on 18. Um, but yeah, then I went to Puerto Rico. I had a really good week overall. I spent time with my friends. A good friend of mine was scouting for me. Um, and then, as you said, a lot came with it. Masters, U.S. Open, British Open, and the Mexico Open. They were all cool experiences to have before turning pro. I think it was it was good to see where my game was at with the best players in the world, and
Absolutely.
honestly, where my game was at in terms of like where I need to be better, and yeah, just have a nice place to play too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's got to be a little nerve-wracking when you're playing in these tournaments. Like, not only are you playing a PGA Tour event, but you're playing at the largest stage, with the most eyeballs, with the best players in the game, all kind of around you. So it's got to be a surreal experience.
Yeah, it was definitely tough to adapt yourself and to see yourself doing good out there. Also, it's one of the hardest parts, I think. Especially because you win in like I won in January, or whoever wins the Latin American wins in January, and then you go to April,
True.
and the first tournament you play is the Masters. So, like in my situation, it was I never played a PGA Tour event, and all of a sudden
Right.
I'm teeing off at the Masters with the
Crazy.
85 or 80, 70 the best players in the world, and it was kind of a whole new scenario for me to experience, which I'm lucky enough that I can say that I played a Masters before, and it was a
Absolutely.
hell of an experience. Honestly, every week that I got to play, I felt I got better, even though the results were not the ones that I was expecting.
Right.
But every experience that I got, it was just one of a lifetime.
Was there a moment when you were at Augusta that it kind of like all sunk in? You're like, holy cow, I'm here and I'm playing here. Was there like a moment that it just kind of hit you?
Yeah, so every time I went for some practice rounds before the Masters
Okay.
week, and I took my coach Hernan Ray with me for a few rounds there, and I remember talking to him a lot about like the week and how it was going to be and everything. And I remember one thing he said, like on Thursday, whenever the time comes for you to tee off, like I'm gonna be with you at the putting green, and then it's like fist pump, let's go, and you're walking along to the like not along with your caddy to the first tee.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him telling me like it's gonna be like some sort of a tunnel through the people that you're gonna walk with, and then like you get to the first tee and it's like you're on stage. And that's my like the my biggest memory from the week.
Yeah.
I was on the putting green. I fist bump, hey, good luck, whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
start walking through the people and get to the first tee.
Yeah. No.
And the only thing I didn't do was try. I when I walked to the first tee, I just didn't want to like watch my name on the chart on the
On
left.
the board. Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, that was everything I was dreaming of
Absolutely.
life, and I was shaking honestly. I don't
Yeah.
know if I
I
hit
would.
the golf ball there.
I would too. I was gonna say I don't even know, on the first tee. I don't even know if I would get the ball up in the air.
I know.
Did you have family while you were out there?
Yeah, so I rented a house for 10 people.
Okay.
took four of my good friends with me that were staying with me at the house
Nice.
that week. Then my whole family, that we are five.
Okay.
Then my caddy was also staying with me, so we were
Okay.
10 staying at the same house.
Cool.
And my girlfriend came over for a few days also during the week.
Nice.
So it was fun. I mean, every dinner we had like 15 people over.
That's cool.
I didn't spend much time at the house because whenever
Of
the
course.
tournament starts, you're just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And also during the practice days, I remember being like super busy and like
Mm-hmm.
you gotta go to the media room and then you gotta go to an event that is on Monday, the amateur dinner and everything that is going on. Like it's a
Gotcha.
busy schedule during that week. I remember after that week I was really exhausted.
Yeah, I can imagine. Emotionally and physically.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Not
All
an easy.
right. No, not at all. Not at all. That's awesome. I mean, props to you. That's an amazing experience that many get, not many get to have. So, yeah, that's very admirable on your end. So let's fast forward to this year, right? Now you're on playing in the PGA Tour Americas. How has this year been for you, right? I think now you have kind of like a set schedule that you've been playing. You have kind of a little bit more focus now on what you want to achieve, right? In your career. So how has this year been for you?
Yeah, I think this year has been like a lot of ups and downs
Mm-hmm.
so far. I've been I started off the year. I felt like in a really good way, making 2 Mondays or just making 1 Monday for the Corn Fair in Colombia, and then I
Mm-hmm.
got a sponsor exemption into the Argentina one. So I got to play two Corn Fair events before starting the PGA Tour America season. The Latin American swing went by like super fast. I got off to a not a good start. I was struggling mentally. Then I started working with another guy also on the mental aspect of the game. Apart from my psychologist too, and I think we hit the right spot in terms of on how I wanted to play golf, and I was not enjoying it that much in the first few events, and I just started trying to focus more on being out here to enjoy it more than just feel that it's my job or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I can say I started to play better. I started to enjoy it more. Every week, I'm playing out here. No matter if I make the cut or I'm playing 4 rounds, I just try to spend time with my friends. Go. I mean, not going out at night, but for dinner and everything, and
Right.
just have a good time.
Yeah.
I feel I'm lucky to be living my dream and playing golf at the same time. So that's a way I kind of take it right now.
Yeah, it's all about perspective at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, it's a game that it is performance based, but if you're able to kind of take a couple steps back and kind of look at the whole picture of things and enjoy it for what it is, you would you're going to assume that it's going to translate to better results on the course, right? Rather than be on the other side and kind of be so hard on yourself when things may not go as expected, because the game is tough.
Yeah, and not only the game is tough. We are all competitors that we
Competitive, yeah.
are out here, and we all try to win. But only one is winning at the end of the week, and only 16 players are winning at the end of the year. So
Right.
when you start looking at percentages of how many people will win at the end of the year and everything, if you're hard on yourself on a bad result or a miscut or anything,
Mm.
you're not gonna be happy, and probably you're not gonna last too much out here just cussing and not having a good time. So
Right.
um, honestly, I started the year in that way, just like being super hard on myself. Probably I was not enjoying it that much.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I'm coming from 3 miscuts in a row, and I'm here this week and just trying to still have fun and try to keep doing what I've been doing. Honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's the way to kind of go about it, and it's easier said than done. And something kind of I want to go back to that you brought up was the mental aspect of the game, right? That
Mhm.
you were working with someone, and that's been a very common theme with a lot of the golfers that we've spoken to, right? How the mental component of the game and how they've had coaches that have come in to kind of help them with certain routines and kind of certain perspectives of how to look at the game. So, what does that component look like to you? How do you go about the mental health aspect and the mental component of week over week going through these tournaments?
So I truly, it's kind of like what we just talked about. I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can, no matter how it goes. I know we all want to. I'm not here to come and have fun today. So I'm trying to compete, but at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, just try to have fun. And no matter how I do, like, don't be too hard on myself. Just keep grinding. At the end of the day, it's a game, and
Mm-hmm.
the harder you are on yourself, the less happier you're gonna be. And I feel I've been trying to connect a lot with like why I play golf. And I don't play golf for just to call it my job. I play golf just to enjoy it, just to be that kid that started playing golf when I was 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Honestly, when I start thinking about all that stuff, like it's the reason why I want to be here, and that's my way to go about it. Like they're all long weeks. We've been 4 weeks in a row. You get here on Monday, you have 3 days to get ready for Thursday and be ready to roll. And also, it's been super competitive. And if you don't have 2 good days in the first 2 rounds, you're going home on
Okay, you're
Saturday. And
cooked. Mm-hmm.
um, so you gotta be ready and honestly mentally fresh at some point. Because if you keep yourself like beating yourself about a miscut or something, it's gonna be harder the next week.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it is, and it stacks up. Do you have a routine that you kind of go about when it comes to that aspect? Like before every round, do you have something that you do?
Yeah, so I this guy that I've been working with, we work a lot on mindfulness, which is a way
Mm-hmm.
to how would you say it in English? Like basically like put your attention where you want to have it instead of be
Right.
thinking about of the bogey that you just made or
Mm-hmm.
the par five that is about to come. So I
Being present in the moment.
Yeah, as much as you can. So between
Mm-hmm.
being like trying working on mindfulness, which I have some practices that I do at home normally when I start my day or before the rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Between that, I'm just being able to be out there and enjoying. I feel it's the combo that I like to have whenever I'm about to start a week.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think the mindfulness component is a very intriguing approach. It's something that I'm a big believer in. Like when I started Stay Tranquilo, it was a lot of it was based off of that around mindfulness, meditation, and kind of like visualization, right?
Yeah.
And I think you can apply that to everything in your life, right? Not only just golf, but you can use it for business, you can use it for your relationships, whatever it may be. But if you can kind of set the tone, like you said, in the beginning of your day and look at the positives that are going to come from today and look at things with an open mind, it's just a lot more refreshing how you're going to go through things. And you're not going to be so reactive at everything that happens every day.
True. That's true, and you're gonna keep having bad days or days that you're
It's the
not
inevitable.
super focused or you have your attention anywhere. But if I remember when I started like doing all this mindfulness stuff, the guy that I'm working with, he told me like, look, if you go to the range and you hit 1,000 balls to make the right movement, like you're getting better at something like by practicing it. Well, the mental game or the mental ability is the same. The more you practice, the better you're gonna get at. So,
Absolutely.
and that was something that I never thinking about it that way. And
Mm-hmm.
right now, I'm like, I know that the more I practice it, the more when I go out there, it's gonna be easier for me to just to refocus and be at the present time.
Absolutely. No, that's a good way to look at it. So before we kind of wrap it up here, just want to ask you some rapid questions. You don't have to get too in depth with them, but outside of golf, what does Mateo like to do?
Well, I'm really getting into paddle right now.
It's
Um,
a paddle.
yeah, you know the it's honestly, I think it's one of the sports that is growing the most in the world.
Is it like pickleball?
No, so it's like I would say like tennis, but with all the walls behind.
Ah, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen the
So
videos of it.
we have a nice group in Orlando of Argentinian guys that we all live together there, and we
Okay.
all bought our paddle rackets, and like we got really into it, and it's fun because it's like we normally play golf on a daily basis, like mostly every day. So
Right.
it's fun to have something that is like for all of us, it's like a hobby, and we're not
Mm-hmm.
good at,
Yeah.
and we'll shit to each other like whenever we beat. Um, so if Martin Contini hears this, he knows he sucks at paddle.
Yeah, yeah. Talk smack. What? So next question is, what's been the toughest course you've played in your career?
um, Toughest course, I would say Oakmont for the U.S. Amateur.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really tough course.
And was it conditions, or was it just the overall layout of the course, or a mix of a little bit of everything?
I think it was a little bit of everything. I remember that U.S. Amateur. I got off on the first day at Oakmont.
Mm-hmm.
The From what I heard, the fairways were rolling around 10, and the greens were rolling about, I would say, 13, 12 and a half, 13.
Wow.
So the ball, like if you were carrying the ball on a low trajectory around 260
Mm-hmm.
to 80, it was going 340. It was going, and there were some fairways that you couldn't hold the ball on the fairway. You were just trying to land it on the fairway for the ball to roll on the rough.
Wow.
Well, yeah, it was windy too. It was really hard.
Wow, that's crazy. That's not something that I would say the rec golfer is used to. So, and then two more questions. What is your favorite memory that golf has given you over the years?
Um, it would be between the Youth Olympics in Argentina in 2018
Mm-hmm.
or the Latin American Am. I think between those two, it's hard to pick one because it was something that at different ages in my life I was waiting for them. I was waiting for the Youth Olympics when I was younger. When I was 18, it was before going to college, and we truly wanted to win a medal in front of all
Yeah.
our people, and we got the bronze medal in the doubles, and then the Latin American. I was waiting for it for 5 years to win it. So after I won it, I felt like a big relief, and I finally get
Absolutely.
it done.
Yeah, and just the sense of the accomplishment that you were able to achieve, that's something that you'll carry with you for the rest of your life. So that's awesome.
100%.
And then I have to ask a question based out of Miami. We have Messi now. I enter Miami. Are you a big Messi fan? Considering you played soccer back in the day.
Yeah, I'm a big Messi fan. I still need to go to Miami to watch a game, but I
Mm-hmm.
will probably next season because I don't know how many seasons Messi has left. So
Right.
I hope to be in the stadium next season to watch him play.
Yeah,
You
that'd be awesome. Right now, they're in the works of building a new stadium. So maybe by next year, you're able to go to the new stadium, and it'll probably be one of Messi's last runs before he retires.
No, that would be amazing.
And you got a Copa America win before he couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I actually went to the stadium a few weeks ago. So on
Oh,
our
did
week,
you?
Argentina was playing quarterfinals against
Mm-hmm.
against Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to Houston with Abel that is playing here this week and two other
Oh,
friends.
cool.
So we went there to Houston for the day and we watched him play and everything. We
Nice.
won in penalties, so
Yep, I remember.
it was stressful, but we we won, so it was
We got
good.
the win. Nice. That's awesome. Very cool. Well, Mateo, thank you for taking the time to do this. It was a blast, and we wish you best of luck this week and for the rest of the season. And hopefully, we get to do something again soon.
All right, thank you so much for having me. It was a great time. It was my pleasure.
Thank you, Mateo. I'll talk soon. Bye.